He's Chase. I'm Harrison. Top 25 recruiting classes in college football. As we film this on Thursday at night, this is always changing. Kids are committing, decommitting all the time. So I don't want to see you guys in the comments, that ranking list is wrong. Well, it changes all the time. This, by the way, based on the 24/7 Sports Composite, which combines their own rankings, ESPN, and then what's the other one? Rivals. Those three recruiting rankings all being combined into one. So top 25 recruiting classes coming your way right now. 25 through 21, Boston College. What Jeff Hafley is doing there is pretty impressive. He's got 23 commits so far. Iowa State with Matt Campbell has 19 commits. Rutgers, Chase, Greg Schiano, can't say enough about how quickly he's trying to turn around Rutgers.
And we were talking about this earlier, a couple of four-star recruits within that recruiting class as well. Look, when you have a coach who has a resume like Schiano's and the success that he's had at Rutgers, it is very attractive to recruits out there.
By the way, 4 of those players, 4 stars to Rutgers.
Yep.
Like that's pretty impressive.
Yep.
Tennessee, Josh Heupel trying to ramp up that rebuild. He's got 16 commits, including 3 4-stars. And then South Carolina's got 18 commits. They also have 3 4-stars as well. 20 through 16, Virginia Tech has 24 commits. Who's the Penn State dude that just took the
Brett
job?
Pry, defensive coordinator.
Brett Pry, the defensive coordinator. We'll see how many of those commitments stay. Currently 3 4-star commits. Michigan State, Mel Tucker just got the bag. He's recruiting pretty well as well.
Isn't it crazy how he basically set the standard for which college coaches are getting paid
Mel
now?
Tucker reset the coaching market.
He set the coaching market.
It's unbelievable. 20 commits, 5 4-stars. And look, I'm not being slanderous toward Mel Tucker. Number one, if you can get the bag, get it.
He's a great coach,
And
man.
number two, the guy's doing a hell of a job. I know they got stomped by Ohio State. He went 10-2 in a year 2 after taking over a bad situation. Arkansas at number 18, Woo Pig, 20 commits, including 5 4-stars. That's interesting. Michigan at 17, only 19 commits. You wonder if they're going to be able to ramp up, make a late push, Chase, now that they might finally make the college football playoff.
Everybody's back in on Harbaugh. Josh Gaddis called a hell of a game against Ohio State.
They have an
last
identity
week.
now.
They have an identity, and they've really changed their offense a couple of times. They started with the Harbaugh approach, then they tried to spread it out. Now they've gone more toward Harbaugh and what he originally wanted to do, more ground and pound physicality. I think that number, in terms of number 17 and the commits, is going to change, especially if they win the Big Ten championship game against Iowa.
Currently 1 5-star, 3 4-stars. Oklahoma at 16. We'll see if that improves. We'll see if it falls. Certainly a lot of decommits in recent days after Lincoln Riley left for USC, 1 5-star currently, and does have 6 4-stars, so some high-level commits, but that is certainly a fluid situation. Before we get to the top 15, shout out your favorite team. Represent your squad in the comment section right now. And plus, if you want to get a hoodie for your favorite team, there's only one place to do it. That is chatsports.com/CFB hoodie. That link will be in the chat. It'll be in the comments, the description as well. 50% off right now. Take advantage of this extended Cyber Monday deal at chatsports.com/CFB hoodie. We've got hoodies, jackets, pullovers for just about every single team. Go check it out, chatsports.com/CFB hoodie. That is chatsports.com/CFB hoodie. It's getting cold outside. Warm yourself up with a college football pullover jacket. All right, top 15. Look.
You know who needs this? David Shaw, my man. He needs this bad and desperately.
David Shaw, I think in normal circumstances would have been fired, but he recruits well.
One of the highest paid college football coaches.
He makes like $9 million a year. Yep. He's got a good recruiting class. 7 4-stars, man, to Stanford. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
LSU's got 13 commits. You got to figure Brian Kelly's going to hit the ground running and try to push for a top 10 class this year. Missouri with 16 commits. Eli Drinkwitz, the former App State coach, trying to get Mizzou, that elite SEC talent. If he gets a top 15 class, that's pretty solid. Kentucky, can't say enough, Chase, about what Mark Stoops continues to do there.
And he just signed that contract extension as well, so there were some rumors and rumblings about him being targeted for some of the premier college football coaching jobs. You've made this point before on the show that Stoops at Kentucky basically should have a lifetime contract at this point.
That's basically what they just did.
Exactly.
There's a deal in his contract. Every year they just make a bowl game. Go 6-6, it adds another year to the contract.
Yeah.
So, I mean, unless they fall off a cliff, he's there for the next 10, 15, 20 years, as long as he wants to keep coaching. Florida State, look, they started awful. They finished 5-7, certainly not great, but if they can consistently reel in some top 10 recruiting classes, they should be able to fast-track that turnaround.
Yeah, no question about it. And look,
2 5-stars,
Mike Norvell, if he can't get it done over the next couple of years, let me throw a name at you. Deion Sanders.
Oh, man.
Is Deion Sanders waiting for Florida State and that job to open up? And if that's the case, he could be the guy who could bring the elite recruits back.
If Deion can get Jackson State to be a powerhouse at that level for a couple years,
they're pretty damn good this year.
Yeah, real programs will take him seriously. He already interviewed with TCU in this cycle, and that's having barely been a head coach.
Tallahassee will be popping again with Deion back.
He does this for a couple more years. Watch out. He could be the future of a program. Subscribe, join the Chat Sports family. We're plugging out college football, NFL, NBA videos on a daily basis. Plus, best part, 100% free. All you got to do is subscribe and turn on those notifications so you get notified when we publish a video. Don't miss any of our content here at Chat Sports. All right, top 10. We'll go reveal style here. Clemson, 14 commits. A lighter class, but a top-heavy one. Chase, 1 5-star. 10 4-stars so far for Dabo Swinney.
And I know things were looking so bleak early in the season, and rightfully so. I mean, Clemson was bad for a long while.
It's lucky they went 9-3. They easily
lucky they went
9-6.
9-3, but the record doesn't really show you how well they've been playing over the last month and change, and that's a way to keep these recruits staying on board with Dabo Swinney. Now, Brent Venables, obviously a big recruiter with everything that Clemson is doing. If he does leave for that OU job, do some defensive recruits then back out, and do they go elsewhere? Something to monitor.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. Oregon at number 9, 19 commits, more of a volume class for Mario Cristobal, 1 5-star, 1 5-star, 9 4-stars, 9 3-stars as well. North Carolina, listen, they underachieved this year.
It's pretty impressive.
One thing we know about Mac Brown, he's a hell of a recruiter. He always has been. Not the best player developer later on in his career, but that's what assistant coaches are for. If Mac Brown is at your program, you are going to recruit extremely well. At number 7, Texas, 20 commits. Look, you got to get your guys in there if you're Sark, and that starts on the recruiting trail. If they get a top 5, top 10 class, that's a good start as he tries to, salvage what was an awful year one.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't he take the Texas job late in the process? Was it after the college football playoff?
It wasn't after the playoff, but
it was later in the process than what we're seeing now, right?
Yes. It was
so that could have affected his immediate first class.
And everything was weird last year. Everything got pushed back with COVID, all that stuff. I think there's something to be said for that. I think Texas only had the 20th ranked class last year.
Okay.
And for Texas, that's not good. You should be a minimum of a top 10 class.
But
right
one
now,
year of progress, you see it top 10.
By the way, 14 4-stars. So that's high volume. Will Texas be back in 2022? Yes or no?
We're back. No, you're not.
Are they back? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Will they be back next year? Is next year finally the year for the Texas Longhorns? Let us know what you guys think. All right, Penn State at number 6. They were hovering in the top 2 or 3 for a while there. Yeah. Still a good class for James Franklin. 14 4-stars and 11 3-stars. No 5-stars, but a deep class and a talented one as well.
If there's one thing we know about James Franklin, he's a hell of a recruiter. And Penn State has done as good of a job as anybody across all programs in college football of identifying talent, developing it into pro talent that's very, very high end. You look across the NFL landscape right now, there are a lot of elite players who went to Penn State, played under James Franklin. That's the influence that he has. Game coach, not great. Recruiter, awesome.
At number 5, Notre Dame, 22 commits. Does this change at all with Brian Kelly going to LSU? Perhaps.
I can see players wanting to play for Marcus Freeman, though.
Yeah,
a lot of the players vouch for him.
Look, what's that podcast on the Cowherd's The Volume? No. There's a they call it The Garage, I think.
Oh, with Kyle Hamilton
with
and the
current
crew.
Notre Dame players.
Yeah.
I mean, they love Marcus Freeman.
Yeah.
And you saw how they reacted to Tommy Rees as well when he told them that they were staying. So, plus, it's Notre Dame as well. They're going to recruit well. I mean, that's just how things go. At number 4, Ohio State. only 17 commits, but a 5-star and 14 4-stars. So Ryan Day.
You don't have to worry about Ryan Day.
Yeah, they're going to get high-level talent. Could Ryan Day take the Chicago Bears job? I don't know. People are talking. Those people are mostly me. At number 3, Texas A&M with 19 commits.
Those people are person.
Yes. Well, there could be one or two other people.
You,
but Texas A&M, Jimbo Fisher, listen, man.
Yeah,
he said it over and over again. Why would I take the LSU job after having one of my best recruiting classes ever and having to go play them? Stuck to his word. He didn't take that job. 3 5-stars, 13 4-stars. This class is loaded, Chase.
It's loaded, and this is a Texas A&M team that just beat then-ranked number 1 Alabama several weeks ago. Yes, I understand that Alabama is down. Goes to show you the progress that Jimbo Fisher has been able to make. Plus, last year in 2020, they lose to Alabama. They win out. They were in play to make it into the college football playoff. That right there, folks, the Jimbo Fisher influence.
Yeah, and look, they went 8-4 this year. That's not what they paid him $90 million for, but you lose your quarterback in game 1, and you still beat Bama. You still pick up some big wins. I think they're going to be just fine with Jimbo Fisher. Number 2, who will have the top class? Not Alabama's currently. Things can change. 20 commits, 3 5-stars, 15 4-stars. It's the Saban talent factory. I mean, they're going to recruit. They're going to develop. They'll have a top 3 class every
Culture as well.
And, hey, here's our pitch. If you come here, you got like a 60% chance of going to the NFL.
Bang.
And you're going to win SEC and national championships. Right. By the way, since Nick Saban has taken that job, not a single recruiting class, if they stayed for at least 4 years, didn't win a national title. It's the craziest stat in college football.
So come here, and while you're here, we'll win a natty.
Yeah, and then you're going to go get paid probably.
Millions.
Georgia at number 1. Listen, if anyone's going to dethrone Bama, I'll still include Clemson in that conversation. They've won 2 national titles in the last decade. But Georgia with Kirby Smart, they've got the best team this year. We'll see if they can finish the deal this time, but I think he had the number 1 class last year too, Chase. What Georgia is doing, or maybe it was 2 years ago, either way, they've been near the top. They're recruiting. If they can get quarterback figured out, that's really the one area they haven't been able to figure out.
Yes.
It's, there could be a shift in power at some point from Alabama to Georgia.
And that's the big question this year with Stetson Bennett. Can you win a national championship with Stetson Bennett as your quarterback? But that roster, that program, littered with 5-stars, 4-stars, bunch of elite athletes and guys who, just like at Alabama, have a great chance to go pro, make millions of dollars. I know there was that rumor back several months ago of them putting cash into McDonald's bags. Who cares? I'm all for college football being the wild, wild west at this point.
There's no doubt about it. So that's our top 5 currently. Who will finish with that top class? By the way, based on the 24/7 composite point system ranking, Georgia has about a 5-point lead on Bama. That's probably about 1 5-star difference there. Like if Bama added a 5-star, they could potentially leapfrog. So it's very, very close between those two at the top. A&M about 12 points behind Georgia at 1, so a little bit further to go. Who will finish with the number 1 ranked recruiting class this year? Go ahead and get your votes in.